For Off the Block, I'm Ving Libson. We are now joined by UC San Diego head coach Kevin Ring. And Coach, it's been a pretty eventful time for you and your program since the off-season started. Not only have you guys now moved on up to become, or in the process of becoming, a Division I program, but you're going to be joining a new conference in a couple of years, as you'll be one of the inaugural teams to join the Big West. Can you just talk about what this time has been like right now for your team and your program?
Yeah, it's really been exciting, on the campus here, and we discussed, sort of the referendum and the move we're trying to make to Division I for all of our athletic programs here at UCSD. That's really for us, right now as a men's volleyball program. You're really seeing this as the split of the Big West from the MPSF is really as an opportunity for growth for the sport of men's volleyball, and certainly good for us. I've always enjoyed competing in the MPSF. I have a great deal of respect for all the coaches and the players in the league. It's a very competitive league, and there's 12 teams battling for one AQ, and now you split off. You have two conferences, and really, we hope, kind of as things work itself out, that a lot of it's, we're still going to be playing a lot of the same teams, maybe not twice every year like we've done as a conference, but the Big West split, and obviously we've got 5 schools already in the Big West that have men's volleyball, so we're coming on as an associate member, and so we definitely appreciate the Big West recognizing who we are, and kind of a like institution, and reaching out to us. And that was something that my administration, from athletic director and associate athletic director, and our vice chancellor and chancellor were on board with, and made the decision to accept the offer. So we're very excited about it.
Yeah, well, you mentioned about you guys are coming on as an associate member, and I just want to ask you, when did those conversations really kind of begin in earnest about this possibility of you guys being an associate member for the Big West?
Well, I think there's to their credit, some of the coaches currently in the Big West, for men's volleyball, and some of the administrators really were the initial driving force, for making this happen. And then, obviously, they have 5 schools, and you need to have 6 to, they have your own conference, and so kind of early on, kind of heard that we were the likely candidate to be offered an associate membership opportunity. Certainly, we are trying to make the move to Division I. The Big West is the conference that UCSD would be looking at getting into for all of its athletic teams. So there's sort of maybe a natural fit there, but it's really the two are unrelated at this point in time. And so, over the kind of this past year, even hearing from some of the coaches when we compete against them, Jeff Campbell at Northridge or Alan Knight, but really kind of hearing from them that, it sounded like UCSD was the school that they were going to be reaching out to, and then obviously that ended up being the case.
Yeah. And Coach, you have a program that's improving, and you play a grueling schedule, one of the most grueling in the country, just being a part of the MPSF. So I want to ask you, moving to the Big West, I know you'll still see, some of those MPSF teams in non-conference play, but do you feel that moving to the Big West in the long run is going to help UC San Diego just in terms of the overall, record category?
Our current state of affairs, kind of who we are and where we're at, that's going to kind of remain the same. As I said, talking about making the move to Division I, which would certainly improve athletic scholarship opportunities and resources, and that's going to probably have the biggest impact for us. Really trying to become more competitive, within the landscape of college men's volleyball. But within the Big West, and the schools that are in it are very, very good. And Long Beach State and UC Irvine and Hawaii, Santa Barbara, Northridge. So you've got it's going to be a very good conference. But we look at it as an opportunity. There will just be 6 teams. Our conference schedule will be 10 matches. So very different from the 22 match schedule that we've typically been playing in the MPSF. And so that will open up some non-conference opportunities, and certainly still playing schools from the MPSF, but hopefully even more from other conferences as well. So we hope for us, it's definitely a move in the right direction, and certainly for us to be, more competitive on the national landscape.
Well, and you brought up the scheduling. I want to ask you because, you're moving from a schedule where, you're pretty much playing conference matches and you try to sprinkle in a couple of non-conference matches to a schedule now where predominantly all your matches are going to be non-conference. Are you excited about the opportunity to schedule more non-conference matches? Do you view it as a challenge? What's your views on, having this basically up to 18 non-conference matches every season?
Right, yeah. I think the challenge will to be putting it together. I mean, the one nice thing that we've had in the NGSF is their strength in numbers, and having a 12-team conference. You're getting 22, matches. And you still have to figure out when you're actually going to play those matches. But the conference, the NPSF will put out sort of a matrix schedule for us, and that'll give us kind of some guidelines. As to, hey, UC Irvine's travel partners with UCSD, and we're supposed to go play Santa Barbara and UCLA the kind of the same weekend, and then you work out the dates. And so now our schedule will come down to a 10-match schedule and a conference schedule. And so, like you said, up to 18 non-conference matches. So that'll definitely be a bit of a challenge there, kind of working through that. You really hope, maybe the long term, or even the short term, is now that we'll have 5 conferences, the conferences will be somewhat similar in size. And so will there be an opportunity for some level of consistency between the conferences as to when the conferences really want to focus on their conference league matches, and then you leave other kind of maybe the month of January is set up for really non-conference matches, across the board amongst all 5 conferences. And then you get into kind of February, March into some of your conference, and then you have spring break time. That's a good time for teams to actually travel cross country and make longer trips. So maybe you go to non-conference and then finish up with your conference schedule kind of at the end. Come back to it. So something similar to that. Some between the 5 conferences, and then we will sort of be on the same page and be able to schedule. And that kind of hopefully is beneficial for everyone.
Yeah. And Coach, I want to ask you a little bit about the referendum vote that happened for you guys to move Division I. I know that this is something that you most likely wanted, and I know your players wanted. From a standpoint, it's so fascinating that it comes down to a vote. Was this something where, you or your players were lobbying for a little bit, or was it one of those things where you guys took a backseat and just kind of see how the votes come out as they happen?
I think we've had a number of referendums through the athletic department over the years. This is really a student-run referendum coming from our associated student body, and really early on, a lot of what came from the athletic department was just trying to educate campus in general, not just educate the students, but from staff and various departments on campus as to kind of who we are, what this potential move to Division I would look like. And so I think our department did a tremendous job of that. Then once the sort of election, it was election time, really the campaigning and whatnot really came down to the students and, the student athletes. And certainly we had non-student athletes, students here that were in favor of this and kind of helped campaign for this. And, it's, I think they had, like 35% of the student body, voted, and it was a vast majority voted for this. So it's, we see this as a real positive, that it's not just something that's good for, the coaches and the student athletes in the athletic department. This is good for the university as a whole. And so really looking at, being visionary and looking at sort of the long-term benefits of what this could do for UCSD.
All right, Coach. And final question, we'll let you go on this. I know the off season has just started, but January's going to get here sooner before we know it. So looking at this off season, what's kind of the goals that you have for the program? What do you hope to accomplish?
Well, certainly, with the academic year just wrapping up, I guys have finals this next week. I thought we had a really good spring training session. We're able to get in our sort of 8 hours a week and just a couple hours a week in the actual gym. So I thought we made some good progress there. The guys lifted really hard. We send the guys off over the summer, and they're going to be scattered around with internships and jobs and study abroad, and but they're all going to be lifting and kind of maintaining, getting stronger, jumping higher. And so for myself as a coach, it's really just kind of preparing for next year. Obviously, there's a lot of recruiting. A lot of the club tournaments are starting up, so I'll be attending quite a few of the tournaments kind of throughout the first part of the summer here. And then, it's really just trying to get everything in place. And there's, it's not just, hey, you show up in the fall and roll out the balls and start playing. It's, obviously there's a lot of work behind the scenes from scheduling and apparel and everything else we do as coaches. And but it's a nice time because things certainly slow down when you're not with your team on a daily basis. So it's a good time to really kind of get a handle on what's coming up for our team. So I'm excited about it. Certainly the recruiting is a big part of the summer. Certainly the first part of the summer, and be real busy with that.